Did you see any of the trailers?
No, I didn't.
Neither did I.
No. Any?
I know there was the Doctor Strange one, innit?
Yes, I did not watch that.
Neither did I. I mean, I don't watch trailers.
Won't me.
But I obviously I couldn't really avoid the timeline discussing some of it.
Because apparently Xavier's in it.
Yeah.
Charles.
Although I think like it's gonna be sort of quote me on this now. I don't think it's actually Charles Xavier. I think it's gonna be like an evil version of him. I think they're gonna fake us out.
Yeah,
because that's why it's in the trailer, right? So everyone goes, "Oh my god, it's Professor X," and then like he shows up, and you're like, "Oh shit, he's evil."
Well, I think either way, the way they're gonna do it is Marvel seems to have a hard on for like variants right now, where it's like a character, but it's a different version of them.
Yeah.
So
well, and like bringing back the people that weren't MCU. You know what I mean? Like we brought back Toby and Andrew.
I think I'm really curious about Doctor Strange because
I mean,
rumors. Do you think Deadpool's in it? Because Ryan Reynolds, people keep asking him if he's in it, and he keeps coming out and saying no. But obviously, since
maybe
Spider-Man,
he'll have like a cameo.
Yeah, it's just ever since Spider-Man.
I hate that this is where we're going now. Like, I don't know why I didn't expect this, because like multiverse is in the name, but I just hate the cameos of like, hey, remember me? Like, I was excited to see the X-Men join the MCU and be a new take. I'm not excited to see Fox's X-Men, especially as Logan is such a good send-off for those X-Men.
Yeah.
Xavier especially, it's like, oh, he had such a great final movie, and now he's gonna like cameo in fucking Doctor Strange 2 for 5 minutes. It's like, oh, okay. Like, I get it's just a bit of fun probably, but it is just a bit like, oh, it doesn't hit the same as maybe because it's right back to back with No Way Home.
Yeah, but it does feel like that's the selling point now. They need that cameo to try and sell their movies.
It's funny because it's literally getting to the point where I'm like, people didn't even like some of these. Like, I saw the rumor that Ben Affleck's gonna cameo as Daredevil, and I was like, but no one even liked that movie.
And the Fantastic Four, like the original Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
they were meant to. Yeah, I don't know.
It just seems such a strange direction to go in because eventually you're gonna run out.
Yeah, I mean,
like, okay, what is Eric Banner gonna show up?
That was the rumor, though, wasn't it?
Oh, is it?
He's meant to be in is it the Hulk show or was it Doctor Strange?
It must be Doctor Strange.
Meant to be in something. And
it's probably Doctor Strange.
I can see them.
I think it's gonna be like all the Marvel movies are gonna like pop in.
The Marvel that weren't MCU.
Yeah, like the not canon Marvel.
Yeah.
Just so that they can then be like, yeah, that's ours. You know what I mean? Like, even that stuff is MCU because it's what's canon, what's not canon.
Well, it's because now everyone says that Toby and Andrew, they're technically now canon by an MCU. Which,
whatever that means.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Just Marvel for me is just... For me, they're going in a direction which is just a bit stale.
I was going to say, like, I cared about seeing, like, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield again. I don't care about seeing the Fox X-Men again.
Yeah.
If Logan didn't exist, maybe. But, like, the only people I really care about from that are Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart. And it's like, well, they got a great finale.
But, like, why not use it to do something new, like introduce new X-Men?
But, like, why has it got to be, like, multiversal? Because I feel like they're going in that direction I hate. Because everyone keeps being like, how are they going to introduce mutants? And I'm like, well, they just show up. That's the point. Yeah, like, they're mutants.
Yeah. But you know how...
It don't need to be, like, the multiversal energy or Thanos' snap.
But
like,
everything is going off that now.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They probably will do
like, I saw a rumor that, like, the reason... Because they're doing Jane Foster as Thor in the new Thor movie. And there's this might not be real, so take this with a pinch of salt. But because in the comics, when Jane Foster becomes Thor, she has cancer. Right. So it's almost like a Shazam thing, where when she becomes Thor, she's fine. But when she reverts back to Jane Foster, like, she's terminally ill. And the leaked plot rumor is that, like, she has cancer because of, like, she got snapped, and when she came back, she had cancer. And I'm like,
but
you don't need to explain everything. Like,
I can see them using that as a plot point, though.
I think it'll be like either the multiverse is gonna fuck up, or Thanos' snap left some energy that like
Creating
now mutants.
Yeah, and Fantastic Four will be like part of that.
Probably.
It'll be like they were astronauts in space when their snap happened.
Yeah, or like Doctor Strange opens a portal and they get bombarded with something. You know, I mean, it'll be something like that, and it's
because it can't just be this superhero was created by XY. It has to be this superhero was created by someone already in the MCU.
Which is so funny because Stan Lee literally said the reason the X-Men are mutants is because he was sick of writing origins, where he wanted to just be able to explain away that, oh, that person has powers because they're a mutant. He didn't have to think about, did they fall in a vat of electric eels or whatever. And so it's so funny to now see it come full circle, where it's like the mutants need an origin. Where did they come from? How did they exist?
Yeah.
And it's just like, but no one has ever told that story and it been interesting. We did it in like the Ultimate Universe, where the mutants are like a genetic experiment, and everyone was like, well, who cares? Like, what a boring fucking explanation. And now it's gonna be like the multiverse, blah blah blah. Yeah, and as well, like, no one still likes the Fox X-Men. Like, they didn't end on a good note. People like Deadpool, people like Logan.
Yeah, like their last two films are arguably both trash.
Yeah, and most of them are directed by a nonce anyway, allegedly. So, like, yeah, boy, those movies, my favourite.
They're great.
Is like Blade going to show up and it be Wesley Snipes, even though we're doing it with Mahershala Ali?
I'm really curious about Doctor Strange.
I just, like, I'm interested because it's Sam Raimi. And I do like the concept. I just think where it's right after Spider-Man, I'm just like, this is what we're doing now. Yeah. And I mean, Loki as well was kind of doing a similar thing. Not exactly the same, but close enough that it's like, oh yeah, variants, okay.
Which is basically what this is.
Yeah, and we had What If as well, which is... Yeah. Seems like it's going to tie very heavily into this.
Because it's like zombie... Doctor Strange.
There's like an evil one, where he's like a bad Doctor Strange, and he's in the What If. And also I saw like a screenshot where it's like, because this, you've not seen What If, have you?
Not all of them, no.
You know the Watcher in it. He's got that wall he can see through. There's like an image in the trailer of Wanda next to a wall that looks like exactly the same, where it's all like, and so people are like, oh, is the Watcher going to show up or something? And like tie it into What If, so that people are like, oh yeah, What If? Let me go watch that. And so yeah, I just multiverses are cool, but like not when we get so like caught up in them. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, but I care about this universe at the end of the day. Like, you telling me that the Ben Affleck Daredevil happened over there doesn't excite me.
I know, and it just seems to me that it's a bit lazy. It's like I said, they're using these characters for excitement in new films, where I feel like they should be focusing on creating something new.
Yeah, you know, like who are the new Avengers gonna be? It's gonna be fucking multiversal people at this point. You know, like, yeah, it just feels very... It's gonna run out of gas very quickly, because you can only do it and maybe that's why they're doing these two movies, and then that'll be it, maybe. But I doubt it.
But past the reaction you have when you first see the film of, oh shit, that's Hulk, and what does it really do for your film? Yeah,
like, there's me looking at you and going, the Eric Bana Hulk happened in universe blah blah blah. Does that really, like, oh sick, I enjoy that movie now?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, oh great, fantastic news. But maybe it will be more of, as I said, I wonder if, I hope they're going to have more fun with it. And as I said, maybe do stuff like, oh, it's Professor X, played by the same actor, so you think it's going to be him, but it's like, oh no, this is like an evil version or something. Maybe they'll have more fun with it.
I hope they...
It can't just be the portal scene from No Way Home again. No. You know what I mean?
Do that again. Because it was trash.
Well, and like, who could it be? Like, people care about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Like, does anyone care if, like, like, whoever steps out, like, outside of maybe Wesley Snipes, I guess.
Yeah, because all the other, really, the stuff that isn't attached to the MCU, most of it is bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's very hit or miss.
But like you said, if they do something fun with it, like, I don't know, Eric Banner's Hulk shows up, but he's like the Grey Hulk.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Something like that. Just make it different.
Yeah, where
Make
it's
it
not
different.
just that. So it's not like you're ticking checklists of that movie happened in that universe and that happened. Like,
do what they did. Bear in mind, not a lot of people liked what they did in WandaVision, but they brought back Evan Peters as Quicksilver, but he wasn't Quicksilver.
Yeah,
Do something like that.
although that might date horribly now if we do like have the Fox X-Men like show up, because you're gonna be like, wait,
what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I mean, or like I hope they have real fun with it. Like, imagine he goes to like a universe and it's like the animated show from the 90s.
Yeah,
it's like Spider-Man's animated Spider-Man swings in, or like, you know, like the fucking video games or something. You know what I mean? Like he drops in and it's like Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah,
like
that would
stuff
be cool.
like that.
Yeah.
Just like if you're gonna do it, have fun with it, because otherwise, like, I don't care about the tedious plot. Oh yeah, this
It'll
universe.
be another generic Marvel film with the same comedy,
probably
just with like 10 cameos.
Whoa, I fell in this universe, and this universe is just crazy, man. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I'm excited because like I like Sam Raimi, and I do. Whilst I didn't really enjoy the first Doctor Strange movie, I do like him as a character. I'm quite interested to see like the more magic-y side of, you know, the MCU. Get weird with it.
Yeah, why not?
You know, you're big enough now, you can. It just, I've said recently, it's funny, like, I thought the appeal of comic book movies was like, it distilled like the simple stuff. And that's why people enjoyed it, because it was so accessible. Whereas now, like, it feels like we're getting so overcomplicated with it, where it's going to start getting to the point where, like, I can't explain these movies to people anymore. You know what I mean? Like, explain the last Spider-Man movie to someone that's only seen the first the Tobey Maguire movie.
Yeah, true.
Be like, so he is in an alternate universe, and like, he gets brought in because they're doing a spell that goes wrong. Like, it's just like, what?
I know. But to be fair, like, so many of the Marvel films are so easily accessible for new watchers. I don't mind them doing things like that, where it's kind of, you won't know what's going on unless you've seen this. And
yeah,
you can get away with a few.
It's not so much
few films like that.
It's just the more convoluted plot, just for the sake of explaining things. You know what I mean? Like, the way we did No Way Home, like, really felt to me like at points, especially with the ending, where it was like, well, we're not sure if we're going to get the deal with Sony again, so like, leave it where like he's still there, but ambiguous. Nobody knows who he is. So if Spider-Man is never referenced by an Avenger again, it's not weird.
But he exists in our universe. You never see him.
Over there.
He's never on the news, or like, he never saves anyone.
But I mean, isn't that literally what it's going to be? Where if it is like, oh yes, Eric Banner's Hulk exists over there. Yeah. You know, I mean, like, does that matter? Is he ever going to show up again? Sort of thing.
Yeah, I wonder if Andrew and Toby will show up again in Doctor Strange.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think anything Spider-Man related. Like, they'll talk about it, but not that, because, you know, then they'd have to make a deal with Sony again. You know what I mean? I think this is going to be like everything else. Every other Marvel movie, we rope that in and sort of, as I said, I feel like it's going to be like a lot of like, hey, look,
it's this guy.
Remember me? And he like winks at the camera in a really poorly shot scene in someone's house.
It's like Chris Evans.
Yeah, he's going to. Oh, he is going to appear. He's going to appear, and people are going to be like, or Doctor Strange is going to be like, Steve. And he's going to be like, Steve would be like, and then like he catches fire and his clothes burn off and he's got the Fantastic Four suit underneath. That'll be the scene. Like, Steve, I'm Johnny.
Flame on. And he just fucks off.
100%. That'll be it.
I saw another thing from the trailer where it was like one of the when Doctor Strange is like in handcuffs and he's being escorted by like Ultron robots.
Yeah.
And one of the people, one of the silhouettes sitting down has like really long and skinny arms.
Oh,
So
really?
like the speculation was, is that Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah, well, and
Or-
there's rumors that like John Krasinski is playing him, or like an alternate him.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but I'm a bit like, this is how we're gonna introduce the Fantastic Four in the MCU. Just like a weird fucking alternate universe.
It is lazy.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, I was excited. Like, even with this kind of muted feelings I've had towards the MCU post Endgame, I have been excited to be like, oh, but the X-Men and Fantastic Four are going to show up.
But it feels like,
and now it's just like, oh, I don't really.
And it feels like they're taking so long to do it. Like, yeah, bear in mind COVID and everything, but there hasn't really been much mention of
Mutants.
Yeah, it's just
anything. Like, even a little tease.
Yeah, I wonder if this film probably will be, if any film was going to introduce them, you would say it would be this one. But if they don't do it in this film, I don't know. Like, I wonder what route they're going to take.
Yeah, same.
With the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because like those original movies are iconic.
Yeah.
So either way, whatever you do will be a response to them. I watched the after credit scene's gonna be like Doctor Strange has finished the plot or whatever, and then like we see a portal open and fucking Deadpool will hop out.
Probably, yeah.
Or like he'll be left stranded. He'll like fall out and be like, guys, Steven, help!
Yeah,
and he's like lost in like the middle of the MCU, and like Hulk jumps on him or something.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Catch me in Deadpool 3, which I mean, even that feels like it's taken forever to come out.
It's weird, isn't it?
Because Deadpool 2 was ages ago.
Yeah.
Weren't we still in sixth form when that came out?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, 2016, 17, wasn't it? The first one was like 2015.
Deadpool is not a iconic enough franchise to like disappear for fucking 6 years or whatever.
The thing is, the films were massive though.
Yeah, of course.
I think the third one. I'm just saying, like, as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just the fact it's tied now to the MCU, even if he's not in the MCU.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I mean, the whole thing with Fox, it kind of left Deadpool in like a limbo. So
yeah, definitely.
I guess they are waiting, and it's all but confirmed, isn't it? Number 3.
Yeah, they announced the writers because it's they're from Bob's Burgers, which I haven't seen, but I hear is really good.
But yeah, I don't know. It seems like where for me personally, the MCU, I'm just kind of over it at the moment. So I X-Men, something like the X-Men or Fantastic Four, I think would drag a lot of people back in.
Yeah,
and it gives them the opportunity to do something different.
Yeah, definitely.
Or, like, they probably won't, and they'll probably stick to the same tropes, but I don't know. They're big enough characters to make you change something.
For me, I feel like the appeal of like doing multiverses and stuff like that is like to see, because you know, like in comics when we do alternate dimensions and stuff, it normally has a different tone. Like, the Ultimate Universe feels different to the normal Marvel Universe. If you look at something like Earth 1 at DC or whatever, like normally it feels different. It's not just the normal stories, but like a couple of the details are changed. Whereas I don't really have faith that the MCU are going to use like the multiverse to tell a totally different Hulk story that I couldn't get otherwise.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll just be like the same formula, the same humor.
Yeah. He'll just be Eric Banner.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, which I feel like is such a waste. Because, like, if you've got, like, yeah, cool, do, like, alternate... If you're going to do multiverses and shit like that, like, do take it...
Lean into it. But that's the issue with a lot of the Marvel films. I feel like they use these ideas, but they don't lean into them in ways that they could. Like you said, do something weird, have him go into an animated universe or something.
Yeah.
But it's just, they play it so safe.
Well, and, like... I think that was the main criticism of What If, is like... I did enjoy What If. I thought it was quite, like, fun, you know what I mean? But every universe had the same tone. Like, even the zombies episode, which should be dark, right? Like, everyone's just cracking jokes the whole time. And so, like, none of the horror lands. Because you're like, well, they're not scared. Why would I be scared? And I get, like... With that, I cut it a bit slack because I was like, well, it isn't like a R-rated fucking zombie. Like, it's not The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But it did definitely go too far. But every universe felt like that. Like, everyone was... It's the MCU. We're cracking jokes. We're...
Yeah.
Just... The formula... Everything felt the same no matter what universe they were in. It was just like the plot is a bit different. With the exception of, like, a couple episodes. Like, there's a really good one where, like... all the Avengers are, like, assassinated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like... that one's a bit darker. Where you're like, oh, okay. And just, like, it's more of a mystery... Like, it doesn't feel like you're just watching another MCU spin-off thing. It's like, oh, okay, this is having some fun with the, like, idea of, like, we're in an alternate universe. Anything can happen. Like, the first scene is like, Iron Man just fucking dies. And you're like, oh.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? So, I just sort of worry that, like, with the movies and the Disney Plus shows and that, we're not going to really take advantage of the fact we're in an alternate...
No, I don't expect them to at all. Like,
yeah,
to be honest,
same.
I just expect Doctor Strange to be... another Marvel film.
I think it's just going to be the portal scene from No Way Home.
Probably
just like
will be.
the movie.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
But if there's one character where it should be different and weird, especially based on the first film, where like visually that film tries to be a bit different at least. So
yeah.
This would be the one where they do something weird.
Yeah, well, it definitely... I get why the original director dropped out now. Like, I don't know the behind-the-scenes stuff, but I really feel like... Because he pitched it as, like, this is going to be like a horror movie.
Is this...
Oh, yeah. MCU's first horror movie.
Yeah.
I think that I think they looked at No Way Home and went, people are really going to fuck with this.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange needs to be that on, like, steroids.
Yeah.
And so he was probably like, I don't want to fucking do this. Like, peace out. And, you know... Because it isn't getting Sam Raimi back, like, also... It's that whole thing, we're bringing everyone back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, fucking...
Fan favourite.
Charles Xavier's back. Sam Raimi's back. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's sort of to really cement it in that feel, I wonder. Rather than just, like, Sam Raimi had a killer pitch for Doctor Strange 2.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Which, I mean, maybe... I think he is a big Doctor Strange fan, so I am, like, excited. And he is originally a horror movie director, so...
I feel like there's only... You're always in a box with Marvel.
Recently, especially.
Yeah, you're so limited with what you can do.
I feel like post Guardians 1, they really moved into a, like...
Yeah.
Everything is going to be this. We're going to have the music, we're going to have the jokes. Like, you kind of have that with Avengers, but Guardians onwards is where it really starts to show, I think.
Yeah.
And some do it better than others. Like, Guardians is a great movie.
Well, Guardians, yeah. At the time, Guardians was different. Like, it was...
Well, and James Gunn does it well.